Four Knights of the Apocalypse chapter 162 is out, and this was a great chapter as we finally get to start our grand tournament arc with our main cast members. And this chapter not only gave us some good bit of action, but also gave us a bit of how this tournament might end up panning out, and also giving us some teasing for the future weapons that our main cast will end up getting, with a surprise character at the very end that I did not expect to show up in this arc. But before we jump into things, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. And if you want to see me talk about more anime and manga, go and check out my anime podcast, Shonen Pulse, on the Panel Focus YouTube channel, link in the description below, where me, Papa Traffy, Yantogami, and Nox, as we discuss different manga that we have read during the week, as well as discuss anime and manga news when it comes up. We're already uploading on a weekly basis, and it's just so much fun to talk about more anime and manga with some other creators. So if you haven't already, go check it out, you won't be disappointed. And if you want to support the channel more directly, go and become a patron on my Patreon. For just $2 a month, you get access to my patron-only Discord server, early access to videos up to a week early that aren't chapter review videos, and other details where you can recommend me stuff to review. And I'm currently setting up stuff for potential live readings or watch parties on a bi-weekly basis once I get things figured out for that. You also get your name at the end of videos starting in September, and you can potentially get a shout out at the end of the video. I'm planning to make the Patreon and the Discord server as fun and as engaging as possible to make it worth your while. And also, if you want, go and use my referral link down below for Advanced GG and use my code GreekWeeb10 to get up to 15% off at checkout for some really nice supplements, shakers, and thermoses from Advanced GG. Really great flavors for focus, energy, and just straight up hydration. You will really enjoy it. Now with that out of the way, on with the video. Chapter 162 of Four Knights of the Apocalypse, titled Those Who Yearn, and we got a full color spread for Four Knights of the Apocalypse with Tristan, Gawain, Percival, and the rest of Team Percival down in the corner in this image. And first off, really cool image, I love it. My only gripe is that Percival's true color for his outfit is green. I would have preferred black, but green is okay. Still his best fit though, I'm gonna have to admit it's still his best design in the entire series, so I'll let the color slide. Tristan looking cool and mysterious in the back, and in all honesty, Gawain's outfit has grown on me. It could be because she might be slightly taller and her hairstyle is different. That might just be it. Or it's just been a while since I've seen Gawain in the manga, so it could be multiple different things. But let's move on with the chapter. We start things off with a brief exposition on what we are seeing right now at the location of the festival. A 9,200 foot tall and 3,100 foot wide giant cane-shaped crystal structure is going to be the site of the festival, and it is something like a mirage only visible during this event. And Percival's obviously incredibly excited over this. As Gawain says, nothing ever did make you nervous, did it? And we end up looking at the crowd with so many people gathered for this fighting festival. As Donnie says, these guys look kind of slimy looking, as we get a pretty brief panel of some of the disturbing looking characters that look obviously incredibly evil and kind of sketchy. Anna ends up saying, okay, so now that we're here and all, what's up with our weapons, as she's asking Gawain. She then teleports in a giant box, stating that Dub's gonna end up sending them once they're all done. So I love the reaction to that, as everyone's like, wait, hold on. What's the point of us asking him for weapons if we're not gonna get it right away? Gawain just says, look, the guy is pretty meticulous. If you got a complaint, take it up with him. Which I actually like that decision. Making it so that Dubs will just magically transport their weapons once they're done, so they can grab them by some point in the tournament, so they can use it, is pretty clever build-up and hype, because we want to see their weapons, which will most likely be Sacred Treasure class, that will end up boosting their overall power. Gawain's sword will probably end up getting some sort of upgrade. We might get an upgrade for Tristan's once he officially joins back up with the group. And the cover page, I didn't say this, but behind the logo, Percival's holding a new sword. So that is most likely Nakaba just teasing us with Percival's new blade design. So I'm looking forward to seeing it when it comes out. But this does end up making us believe that these weapons will be done when they're absolutely needed. Most likely before the like a actual final tournament with the brackets and stuff like that. And it also makes sense that Dubs wouldn't be able to just craft these weapons on the fly, as literally once he took their measurements and everything and understood these characters, they instantly teleported straight to the cauldron. So it makes sense that he would need time to craft their weapons. Now obviously Nazianz is kind of, and justifiably, concerned because weapons are kind of like key for us right now. But he states before that, wouldn't it be trouble if Beltrop and his Chaos Knights discovered our identities? Well, as we get a panning shot of like all the, scummy individuals, questionable individuals in the area. As everyone does realize that this is a big and good point, because the four knights and their comrades are wanted criminals in Camelot. I also like how Nazianz just brings up that they've been in the fairy realm for 2 years, and so just trying to dance around the fact that the others just kind of made some trouble for them. But Gawain then laughs, as before they left, she prepared for this very same situation, pulling out a couple of rings, saying that these are special, magical, anti-awareness rings, infused with a mixture of mentalist and deceiver magic, as these things will cast a mental fog on those hostile to those wearing them. So now, as they wear them, their identities will not be sniffed out by anybody with any real hostile intent towards them, which will essentially hide them from Beltrop and the Chaos Knights from recognizing Percival in the group. But Donnie just thinks that they're just straight up camouflage and invisibility, and be like, oh, I can just go and take out Beltrop myself and sneak up behind him. But Gawain tells him not to. They shouldn't be reckless with these rings. They provide basic camouflage against outside hostility. If the person wearing them has murderous intent for someone, they can't cloak that. So any actual bloodlust will leak out, and the illusion that this is basically creating will end up not working. So that is a good limitation. A good double-edged sword. You can hide yourself, but if you have actual bloodlust and murderous intent for somebody while you're wearing this ring, it ain't gonna work. So I like it. We got a good limitation for this. It's not broken. Perfect. And it'll help the main group just not stand out and get Beltrop and the Chaos Knights' attention. Gawain gets really big points for thinking ahead on this one. If there's one thing I love about Gawain, it's her craftiness. But after giving everybody their rings, Beltrop then makes a large announcement, as everybody in the area begins to hear his voice. He says, "Well met, my little dung beetles crawling around Anvine." I still can't pronounce it very well. "What is that you seek? Freedom, fortune, or perhaps glory?" As Percival says, "What I want is to defeat you all." I love when Percival is serious and his main goal right now is to take out the Four Perils. Freaking awesome. Pure MC energy. Beltrop continues by stating, "Now, if you want to win this festival and obtain your most fervent wish, you must proceed to the tower at once." As everybody begins walking to the tower, Percival tells the group to just hang back and let him and Gawain take on this challenge, as it's incredibly dangerous to go beyond this point. As Percival and Gawain start heading to the arena, the rest begin to follow. As he says, "I told you guys to wait there." Balon just says, "Look, we're Team Percival, aren't we? The Knights of Prophecy's top allies. Don't forget we chose to follow you knowing full well the danger involved." Nazianz goes on to say, "The more people join the festival after all, the better our chances of winning. Besides, I have a thing or two I'm hoping to try out as well." Holding up a little vial, I'm looking forward to see what else Nazianz has created in terms of his poison mixing ability from his time in the fairy realm, and to potentially start using the piece of chastity fold that he got from King. Donnie then just smirks as well, saying, "Yeah, don't count me out this soon, Percival. Better watch yourself before I go and win the whole thing." And we just got a really awesome and wholesome moment where Percival sees his friends in his eyes, and he just says, "All right, we'll go in together then." Because this is something I really like. Percival apologized for just leaving everybody behind and kind of not trusting them to handle the danger after hearing everything that basically just shattered his entire worldview of who he is and sense of identity. And now that he's back, everybody has gotten stronger over 2 years. So he's basically about to go back into the classic Percival thing of wanting his friends to not be in danger. But now, all three of them, without any hesitation, continue to follow Percival. As this is Percival truly accepting that his friends are by his side no matter what, and that he can rely on them to handle what comes ahead. And that does give us some really great character development for Percival, which I honestly really love. But as everybody's walking to the festival, they're wondering how the heck they're going to get to the entrance to the tower. As then everybody begins to be teleported to the very top of that crystal-like structure. And apparently there's at least 300 to 400 people, so that's going to be a lot of people. As Beltrop then begins another announcement, stating, "First, will pare down the numbers. You may use anything you like, weapons, magic, your honed muscle, and everyone else is your enemy. As in an awesome 2-page spread, we see everybody in the gladiator arena beginning to fight each other non-stop with no mercy. As Beltrop states, now fight. Fight for the sake of your desire. Only the final 16 titans left standing in the end will advance to the Gladiator Festival's final battle. So we already got a set number of people that are going to move on to the actual, most likely, bracketed tournament-like structure. Now, a Battle Royal isn't really a new thing for this series, because Seven Deadly Sins did have like a little Battle Royal, King of the Hill type preliminaries for that for the Visal tournament arc, where the last 8 people standing would be in the actual official brackets. We seem to be doing the same thing here, only with twice as many people for the final pairings. So I'm looking forward to see who's going to be in this pairing, because at least 6 of those spots are going to go to Percival, Tristan, Gawain, Naziens, An, and Donnie. The other 10 could be interesting, and it seems like we might get one of those new pairings towards the end of this chapter. With everybody beginning to start their attacks, a bunch of these guys think that Percival's gang are just a bunch of kids and that they'll end up being easy picking. But Donnie then gets serious, waves his hand out, picking up all of these guys into the air with his telekinesis. He then crushes his hand, forcing them into a ball, and then forces them back, hitting a large number of other participants in the way like a game of pinball, as this gravity-confused ball of people ends up heading towards a certain person in particular, Tristan, as he basically just used that opportunity to just knock out 5 guys with a single hit. As Tristan states, I will dedicate my victory to you, obviously referring to Isolde. So yeah, that was honestly pretty fun. If that was actual teamwork, that would be really cool. But that was most likely just Tristan taking advantage of the situation. So, really cool usage of just a literal battle royale and taking advantage of other people's hard work to make things a bit lighter on yourself, even if that might not be what Tristan was going. But we then get to see Beltrop as he is looking through the looking glass at the participants, as he notices something. The magic is a mix of light and darkness. And Gawain then realizes, oh crap, I forgot about him. As she then teleports one of the rings to snip around Tristan's hair in order to fog up his presence. As Beltrop then gets confused, he's like, that's weird. My eye is just playing tricks on me. Since Tristan doesn't have any real murderous intent right now, his presence is going to be masked like everybody else. So I do like how Gawain just instantly just remembered, oh shit, I forgot to make Tristan undetectable. This'll be worse if they find him out. But Gawain, being Gawain, is having way too much fun taking out the fodder, as she laughs while launching a bunch of mini sun-based attacks on the literal fodder in the area. Honestly, those 2 years researching, she probably just needed some way to let loose just a bunch of frustration. She probably feels a lot better now. We got the Percival side of things, as he is about to be rushed by some other participants. But Percival casually just speed blitzes everybody, and then seemingly just pressure points everyone that attacks him as they all fall to the ground. As Percival has no actual care for these guys, as, again, they're fodder. What's interesting is what these guys state, that they are totally drained, and are they gonna die? Percival just says, hey, don't worry about it, you'll be fine. Just give it about a day of sleep, and everything will be back to normal. Now, this will either be Percival just doing the pressure points, or what Percival did was just lightly using his life spirit powers to drain the strength and vitality of his opponents. Which is honestly really cool and incredibly broken, because if he manages to touch someone in any manner, even the slightest, depending on the person, he could drain their power, if not temporarily. So yeah, that's pretty broken. But right as Percival knocked out some fodder, one of the knights that we got in that collage in the previous chapter tries to hit Percival from behind, as Percival turns his left hand into an energy blade and begins to parry every single hit without even looking. The knight ends up saying, I just want to win, I have no personal grudge against you, as Percival quite quickly and easily just parries every single one of this knight's barrage of attacks. Percival notices something. This fighting style, he's seen it before, but in that instance, the knight then begins to collapse onto the ground, breathing very heavily, unable to stand back up, as Percival asks if they're okay. But 2 people off in the distance say, we're on our way to help Sir Diodora, revealing that Percival is now meeting his brother, well, technical brother, Ironside's actual legitimate son, which is a crazy way to end this chapter. So I'll take the L. I thought we were getting Rosebank back in some way, shape, or form, even if that did not make sense whatsoever. But having Diodora come in this arc, and just not realizing it, meeting his brother, the person that his father Ironside was doing everything he can to kill 2 years ago, is insane. And I'm curious to see how they're going to interact. Whether his aides with him are just going to say that that's Percival. Is the ring just still going to work no matter what, since Percival has no murder to tend towards him? And my whole thing is that I actually think I know what Diodora is doing to enter this tournament. He wants a wish granted, and it's probably to see his father. Because after what happened with Ironside gaining the power of chaos, perhaps there was some lie saying that he couldn't see Ironside anymore, or maybe he wants to wish to cure his illness so he can be a proper Holy Knight of Camelot. There's a whole slew of things that we can think about for Diodora to enter this tournament. It could be to wish his mother back to life. It could be to learn more about Percival, for all we know, to understand why his father was so vehemently opposed against him. We have no clue yet. And I'm excited because the Percival family drama, kind of, was honestly one of my favorite parts of the series, with Percival and Ironside's whole beef. Everything with Mortlage in part 1, and now we're getting Percival coming face to face with the last member of his pseudo-adoptive family. I cannot wait to see where this leads in the future of the story. But what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below about this chapter, the setup, Diodora being here, and the whole thing about the weapons. And if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps, and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel, and shows you want to see more. And with all that said and done, I hope you all have an awesome day.